This camera costs half as much. This camera is half the price of an iPhone. So tell me why it's twice as good. Oh, and this entire video is recorded on the Luna Ultra. I want to test it out the way you would expect any user to use this. So number one would be those vlogging shots that you see most people using these. Number two would be your traditional B-roll shots of products, nature, buildings, whatever it is. And finally, the final category would be dynamic shots, something like rolling shots or running shots, where you push this as a filmmaking tool, obviously compared to an iPhone. We've got kicked out of TRX, so we're making our way to Bukit Bintang. So another perfect opportunity to try out the vlogging use case. All right, so this is a vlog recording test, both with the iPhone and the Luna Ultra. Both of them are on their main camera set. So actually the iPhone is on the 0.5, so the ultra wide, while the Luna is on the 1X. And this is what it looks like on both angles. These are recording simultaneously. Both are in log, recording on the Blackmagic camera app. Okay, so I mean, the iPhone just looks less smooth because stabilization is on standard. This is the 1X, right? Which is all right, but what if you want to go wider? There actually is an attachment for the ultra wide. I don't know if it's focused. I hope it is. That's the ultra wide. So that gives you 0.75 or 15 mm. Slightly tighter than the iPhone. The iPhone is wider than that, but this is the closest we can get. Lens, this comes on, magnetically attaches, and then you can just pull off the little lens cap and boom. Now you've got ultra wide. I feel like the iPhone became as shaky as you. What did you do to it? Why is it so shaky?
I really didn't like that comment.
You did?
I really didn't.
It was on cinematic as well.
Why would you say that?
Because you're really shaky. That's not an insult. That's a fact. What do you mean? Okay, the next shot I want to try out is setting it down on a surface and then recording myself by stepping away from the camera. So there's a few ways of doing this. I could just record and hope for the best, but the coolest part about this is I can just remove the display and then use this as an external microphone. Okay, so right here, I have now detached the microphone from here so that I can get the audio directly even if I'm further away. Then I'm gonna tap on this little button on the joystick right over here. That's gonna start deep tracking my face. As you can see, it's tracking my face now. And now as I walk around, it should be following me. Even though there's people in the background, it should still follow me. Watch how it's following me. And if I want, I can zoom in. So I wanna get this to further, maybe 6x in zoom. 3x is pretty good, but let's do that. Turn away from the camera, still following me as I walk back, still following me as I walk all the way over here. And I could still zoom in. I could keep going. Watch these people walk in front of me. Is it gonna lose? I guess we'll have to see. Didn't lose focus. The deep tracking is still working. Dude, if this continues tracking, this is very useful. And the fact that it's like so tiny and it's inconspicuous there is pretty cool. Let me see if I walk behind these guys. Is it getting me through these guys? No way it's getting me through these guys, right? No way, it's actually getting me through these guys. Damn. No way. Okay, lost me there. Pretty good on the results. Only thing I would notice, something I found is every time someone passed by in front of me and I was further away, when it is detached in this way, the mic sound will cut out. So I feel like you need a direct line of sight more so than just distance. I would suggest getting one of these mics if you are planning to record yourself from further away. Then it's much easier for you to record yourself without having to worry that your connection is going to cut out. I would rather just use this as an external display more so than dedicated microphone. But the fact that you can use it as a dedicated microphone, very, very cool touch. We want to do a dedicated test for like a high angle shot, but Celine just suggested we do it right now. So Celine's the boss. So I'm going to turn this around. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I'm going to deep track myself, detach this really quick, place this up here, and then switch mic. Low key, it looks really cool. Okay, I'm going to hit record. And now I've got this really cool perspective. Feels like I'm in a music video. Tarsh, drop in some hip hop beats. This is one way I feel like the iPhone can't even compete.
Yeah.
Solo filming, the iPhone will require you to treat it like a camera. You'll need to set it down and intentionally shoot with focal length or whatever. But on this one, I've got the joystick over here. I can change the focal length even when I'm further away. It's going to be tracking me the entire time. And it's so tiny that nobody even notices it. So, win for the Insta360 Luna Ultra. Okay, this is a quick mic check between the iPhone 17 Pro and the Insta360 Luna Ultra. That's how far away it is from me right now. So if I was to be doing a vlog and I want to film myself, if I don't have an external mic attached, by the way, this isn't connected to that, this is what I would sound like. The thing is that with the iPhone, I would be restricted to this audio. There's nothing else I can do. But with the Insta360 Luna Ultra, I can actually just rip the screen off just like that, and then I can swap the audio here. And now the audio I'm getting is straight out of here. So technically, even if I'm this far back, first of all, it'll be able to track me. So if I move up, the Luna will follow me, while the iPhone has completely lost me now. I'm probably not even in frame. But second, the iPhone can clearly hear me now. With the Insta360 Luna Ultra, because of this, you can still hear me. So if you're talking about filming yourself by yourself, then it's not even close. Whoa, the Insta360 Luna Ultra might actually be the better camera. See? It agrees. It agrees. It does agree with me. Okay, so now we're both vlogging.
Yeah, now I'm on the iPhone and he's on the
Luna Ultra.
Hell yeah.
The thing is, yours isn't as wide with the front camera. It's almost exactly the same. In fact, I'm a little bit wider and I'm more smooth.
No, my hands are so shaky, but on the Luna, I'm so stable, but on the iPhone, I'm so shaky.
Hold both. And then
Okay.
just keep walking.
Shake test. Companies hate this trick where I'm like holding with my very shaky hands. The iPhone is the iPhone is so not stable compared to like the Luna. Look at this creep following behind me.
But also, I just realized to film yourself and see yourself, you need to use the front camera, which isn't as good as the back camera. But if you use the back
Exactly.
camera, it would be slightly wider, but you wouldn't be able to see yourself.
Exactly.
Now, specific shots are almost impossible on the iPhone, like I said, where you put this up on a different angle and you want to film yourself, zoom in, zoom out, track yourself. You just can't do that on an iPhone unless you get a gimbal. But with this, you have that flexibility. The attachment at the bottom comes with a built-in tripod stand. With the iPhone, again, you'd have to invest in like a Moft wallet or something like that to get that tripod on the go. Microphone-wise, again, this has this built in where you can detach it, record yourself, while with this, you're restricted to the mic on here unless you buy an external mic. Ready, 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 ready? If I start recording, I'm dizzy. And now I'm testing out the head tracker. So that's this little earpiece that goes in. What this does, if you probably already noticed, is wherever I look, the camera is going to turn that way for me without me having to do anything. It's just going to look where it needs to look. This is perfect if you want to do those POV shots when you're walking through the city, you want to film something, but you don't want to have to worry about where you're looking. You can just turn your head and the camera will look there for you. Now the head tracker was actually a lot easier to set up than most of the other things. No hardware upgrade or whatever, it was perfect. Very convenient, it is very lightweight so you won't even feel it's on. I think this is perfect for when you want to film and not worry about, did I get the shot? Because wherever you're looking, the camera is looking. Really useful. That's it, so simple, look at that. And you charge it right over here and that's it, that's your head tracker. You just push from here, boom, look at that. Easy, very, very cool. Okay, so one cool thing is like, you know, on a Sony camera, you can like pull the screen out to look at it at different angles. Obviously, if I'm doing a top down, it's very hard to see the screen. So I found that just detaching it and looking at it like this, I can get a really nice flat lay, but monitor it just perfectly. That's a very useful feature, which you can't do on an iPhone, for example. Okay, so we have the Insta360 Luna Ultra mounted with a suction cup mount to Tarsh's beautiful vintage retro incredible car. Thank you for bringing this out. So we have it tracking my car as we go in front. So we got some shots with it facing forward. Now we're gonna mount it to the back of Tarsh's car so that it can film my car head on. So let's do that before it starts raining. All right, the Insta360 Luna Ultra now is doing a slightly lower angle. I'm gonna be chasing the car from behind. Tarsh is gonna be driving up front. Let's do this. All right, so now we're playing back the footage in the car. Just a quick preview. Dude, look at how sick this looks. What do you mean? Dude, and the fact that we're basically previewing it, like we're live previewing the footage while the camera is still attached over there.
That's insane.
That's crazy. And it's playing back like super smooth.
Yeah.
The camera's still over there.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, this is just the external monitor, simply playing back. All right, so now that we have the footage, honestly, couldn't wait to go back to the studio to do the color grade. We just came to a cafe and we're gonna color grade in the cafe. All right, so here's how you do it. DaVinci Resolve has made it very easy to color grade your Insta360 footage because the iLog that we're shooting in is built into the color space transform. Let's search for color space transform, drag and drop that on. Then in our input color space, this is recorded at Rec 2020, so I'm gonna choose that. Input camera is Insta360 iLog. Absolute color grade. Sorry, no, that just converts it to Rec 709, but I'm gonna create a new node right over here. Just adjust the colors a little bit. Let's look at the flexibility we're actually getting. Let me just go here for Rec 709 and then Gamma 2.4. That's much nicer. Okay, and then I feel like right here we're crushing in the blacks. So we're gonna come in here and bring up our shadows a little bit and then balance out our highlights. That's looking nice. HDR can come down. Add a nice little curve. Create a new node, right click, LUT, and then of course we have our own codec task by product mission. We wanna do no log, that's it. That's before and after. Insane dude, insane color straight out of camera, but I'm actually going to reduce this a little bit. It's a bit too harsh. Let's do 0.5. And then we can just add on the film look creator right over here. So we went from there to there. And now let's play back that footage. These kind of shots are quite hard to pull off solo, but the fact that you can do this while driving, still safe, is really, really cool. Honestly, we use it mostly shooting in iLog because the colors straight off camera look great, but we want to use it like a filmmaking tool, same as what we do with the iPhone, and the 10-bit color really holds up. Even if you push the limits in DaVinci Resolve, you get very, very good roll-off of highlights, midtones, and shadows. Now, if we compare the footage between the iPhone and the Insta360 Luna Ultra, the footage actually looks very comparable. In terms of color, 10-bit, it holds up really well against each other. The ultrawide on the iPhone definitely looks better because of distortion control, but the bokeh on the Insta360 Luna Ultra definitely beats the bokeh on the iPhone. Now, if you want to take your mobile filmmaking to the next level, of course this is great, but you can make your iPhone look even more incredible by checking out our Pocket Cinematic course. This course teaches you everything you need to know about mobile filmmaking, taking your mobile basic footage to cinematic level content. If you want to check it out, link is going to be in the description. Definitely try it out. Now, it does come with vertical recording, but it's not the best. So if I want true vertical recording, I would actually need to switch like this, and you can see it says true vertical recording enabled. But to do this, I would actually have to hold it like this the entire time, which isn't really convenient. The whole point is this grip that you get that's really nice. The only other way you could do this is in your control center if you turn this setting on right over here for portable shooting. If you turn that on, now what I'll be able to do is I can still do this and film vertically, but the resolution is capped at 3K at 30 FPS. And you don't get as wide of a frame as you would with your full sensor resolution. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Personally speaking, since we're in a world of a lot of vertical content, I kind of think that's really stupid. I don't like the fact that I can not hold it like this and get this to rotate exactly in this orientation to film vertically. I want full resolution when I'm paying so much money for something. If I can do it in horizontal, I should be able to do it in vertical, and I'm pretty sure the DJI can do it. So I wish this is something they can change in a future update or even a hardware update. Just let it rotate. It's not that hard. So, is the Insta360 Luna Ultra better for half the price of an iPhone? Honestly, depends on how you shoot. If you're the kind of person who requires that telephoto zoom a lot more, then the iPhone still has a little bit more flexibility there when it comes to the Blackmagic camera and how you can use telephoto to get better results. When it comes to recording yourself solo, the Luna Ultra completely destroys the iPhone. Just the fact that you can track yourself, deep tracking works, you can separate the display, look at yourself at whatever angle, filming yourself and using that as a mic is just a no-brainer win for the Luna Ultra. The tracking is a no-brainer win for the Luna Ultra. You saw the results, you saw the colors, you saw the footage side by side. Which one do you think looked better? Let us know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching and see you again in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.